Wizards of the Coast killing reprint equity 2 ways, not just with reprints. Let's discuss.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, so we all know, obviously, you have a good card and you reprint it, and you have more on the market, you're killing, well, you're suppressing its value, you're bringing down your value, however you want to look at it, you're causing the card to be cheaper in the secondary market, okay? But that's not the only force that's driving the downward pressure. Some of that downward force is power creep, okay? When you, like, make a card obsolete, and instead of revisiting it, like, you could have used the reprint better sometimes. Wizards of the Coast doesn't know what they're doing with reprints. They don't know what they're doing with power creep. And the problem is, you could do both better. You know?
I think to piggyback off what you're saying, it's important when you're analyzing the set to, when you do reprints, to maybe go off of like how a card works inside the playability and be like, let's reprint it into this so the synergy's there. And you kind of lose that too, where they're just throwing the cards in there just because, like, oh, they're played in this format over here. We got to get it in somewhere to add value to the set.
Exactly.
They lose that.
That's reprinting improperly. Like, when the theme fits, or when, like, the playability with the rest of the set fits, that's a perfect place for a reprint.
Yes.
But just adding it because it's value is, like, now you're just trying to make, like, artificial value in there instead of, like, real value. And that's where reprints work. And if you're making a new set, why would you make a more powerful card when you could actually just reprint a card instead? You know? So they're contributing to their own power creep by doing this, and also killing the value of their reprint equity. So it's like, you know, they're really screwing themselves both ways, you know? And
they're almost creating the game to be faster.
Yeah,
in a way.
Well,
everything's faster. Your abilities are, you do more with one card for less mana cost. Like, there's so many things that are
they're making
implement.
more cards, like, quicker than ever. And yeah, I guess that's how society is now. But just what it leads is things are getting lost, and they're losing a lot of value by letting things get lost in the mix.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. They're not analyzing properly and really figuring it out in steps.
Thoughtfully done.
No, it's more of a jam in.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see that.
It's more of like, we met the criteria, beep boop bop, of like a set that's gonna be decent, you know. Okay, Modern Horizons 3, let's put in fetch lands. Yeah.
Well, it's even crazy that they've gotten to the point where banned cards are getting reprinted in sets just to create the hype of new style.
Yeah,
it's like, you know.
Or, you know, the most obvious to me is reprinting Portal 3 Kingdoms cards.
Yes, that's been very plugged lately.
No use, okay. The secondary market value isn't based on, like, if those cards were in Mercadian masks, no one would care, okay? It's the fact that the English ones were printed at such a low print run that there's not many out there, so the collectors, yes, they're higher value, and they shouldn't be, and, like, but who wants to play those cards? They're not playable nowadays, so you're trying to get that value out of Portal 3 Kingdoms, but it's just not there. It's just not there.
No, it's getting saturated, and they clearly don't pay attention to the secondary market, so they're just getting lucky on their guesses, right?
No, all of a sudden, you know, Imperial Recruiter. We just chose that randomly,
right?
And what was it, Masters 25 the first time?
Absolutely.
I think so. Yeah,
absolutely. And of course, then you had your seal, which we'll probably see again.
Oh, I didn't even want to discuss Imperial Seal. That freaking card, I sold a really high graded copy. I did get a good price, but honestly, a fraction of what it was really worth.
Well, there's always going to be the short sell on ideas. You did that before the reprint happened, too. That was just a timing thing. Yeah. Did you remember the short sales that were happening of raw copies of Portal 3 Kingdoms?
I know.
People reacted.
Were like 600, 400
dropping
for
quick.
Those cards.
And then it rebounded because obviously...
And then it disappeared during the... Because, you know, that reprint, the Imperial Seal Judge promo, came before the bubble, which was kind of crazy. Imperial Seal was like...
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things, to go back to our original point of talking about reprint equity, is that with how fast they're rapid firing out sets and adding so many different slots and variants in each one of your packs, the opportunity to open more is causing a more saturation in the market. So you're creating this flow of, the reprints are, you know, we have our opinions of when they should be added and how much should be done. But it also, with the rapid amount of sets coming out, you're losing the ability to find more value in different places. So they're going to make each one of these cards struggle because of how aggressive they are with
and
it.
Especially, you know, they're succeeding in extracting money from the secondary market without participating in the secondary market. By reprinting a card, you're making your sets that slightly more valuable.
Absolutely.
So that, you know, people want to buy it, but people buying old collections, it's slightly less valuable, you know?
Absolutely. And it's always good to preface, we understand why reprints happen.
Yes,
we do. And we understand that we
100%.
want new players to get cards so they can keep playing the game. There's no hate here for reprints.
Major purpose in
absolutely.
Magic the Gathering.
It's
been
just the
happening
aggression.
since the beginning, you know? Like, they had a scheme. They stopped doing it with the white borders and black borders, but that's a subject for another day.
Absolutely.
So we'll wrap it up here and say thank you for coming. Remember to like and subscribe. If you're going to buy any cards today, remember to use my TCG Player affiliate link in the QR code or down below in the description. You click on the link, it just takes you to the site, and you can shop like normal. It's free to use, and it helps out the channel a lot. Otherwise, take care, have a lovely day, and peace.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?